Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Tiger Talk podcast. On today's podcast, we have a very special guest, ex-country manager and international director, Daniel Chaffey. Daniel is a 10-year affiliate owner and runs his own gym in France, which goes by the name of CrossFit Louvre. He has 3 locations to date, 2 in Paris, 1 in Bordeaux. And in 2012, he started his own competition, which has now grown to be a CrossFit sanctional called the French Throwdown. Daniel has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to CrossFit, and we hope you enjoy this sit down and conversation that we had with him today.
Bloody hell. Look at that. You guys are in some sexy studio. I'm sitting in my kitchen.
Oh my word, man. We've got Dan the Man t-shirts going on. We are excited.
CrossFit Louvre.
We are excited.
Cheeky bunch of scoundrels, you. I've been warned about you lot. I've been warned about you lot.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Is it on? Are we in? Are we in? Testing.
Daniel, thank you so much, man. We just we made the t-shirts not because of we want to blow smoke up your bum. It's more a case of you are the man for making time for this small gym, our little podcast, to actually come on board and give us a few minutes of your time. We really appreciate it, man.
Woo! All smoke up my bum is more than welcome.
Let's roll.
You wanted to get the podcast off on the right tone, obviously, right? So yeah.
It's cold in here, as you can imagine. It's
And your shirt's in the post.
Come on.
I tell you what, that t-shirt looks brutal. That looks awesome.
Good, right?
Well, you got one coming. I don't know if you'll wear it, but you've got one coming to you. So
I don't know. I try and keep a low profile if I can. So wearing the Dan the Man t-shirt is yeah.
Luckily yours says Easy Tiger.
come on.
Easy Tiger. Yeah, that would be a good one. I'll be up for that. The Easy Tiger one. Yeah, that's cool. It's good to meet you guys. I've heard quite a bit about you. So as they say, forewarned is forearmed, right? So I try and work out who's going to be in front of me and what sort of like line of questioning there's going to be. Because we get people that try and trip us up sometimes, or they try and look for a bit of scandal or something and this kind of stuff. So I was trying to work out who you were, and I was they're great crack, yeah, crazy bunch of mofos. Okay, we can do that one on a Friday then. I do the serious ones on a Monday and then the less serious ones on a Friday.
I was quite chilled this morning, homeschooling the kids, and then I actually went on and I looked at I tried to find some podcasts that you're on, and then 2 years ago you were on Savan Matthijsen's podcast at HQ, sitting there with a guy, I think it's Tyson, the other guy, and I immediately realized we are in deep water here.
I don't know about deep water. You could change the water for something else, right?
I mean, we amateurs, absolute amateurs at this.
Yeah, well, that podcast with Savan, I don't know whether it was because of that podcast that the podcast got pulled, but 4 weeks later, Savan and the CrossFit podcast disappeared, right? And so I was like going, oh shit, did I do something that bad that that Greg decided to like say, Savan, it's been good, you've been doing it for 2 years, mate, but that's the last one, or I'm hoping it was just a coincidence and that you guys will still have your podcast in like a month's time, okay? So let's see what we can do.
No, well, firstly, man, thank you so much again for your time. We truly, for us, it's been incredible having people like Cole and Rachel and Ollie and yourself on this podcast. And it's something we just thought we wanted to create more for us as affiliates, for us here sitting on the panel, just to pick people's brains, and the fact that they are willing to come on board and give us their time is amazing. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
The pleasure's mine, and the wealth of CrossFit doesn't come from up above, right? I mean, Greg used to say that CrossFit is empirical. It comes from the grassroots upwards, and that's what makes its wealth. And that it's the laboratories that try and test the methodology and that share their experience that has brought CrossFit the success. Greg, he kind of like had a test tube baby. It was like an experiment CrossFit, And guys like you take that experiment and you run with it and you take it even further and you share it, right? You guys are going to have listeners and followers that Greg or anyone at HQ could never have had or never have touched. So it's really important. Don't underestimate what you guys are doing. That's what makes the world of CrossFit, right? You guys bring a special element. You're a crazy bunch. So
Yes.
you add to the mix, right? You're a special ingredient in the experiment. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we've started this thing. We wanted to start doing kind of like an icebreaker gig. So if you don't mind, we've got a timer and we've got 40 seconds.
AMRAP.
And Lou's gonna hit you with some questions. Just it's just A or B.
Just get to know Dan the man.
I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to listen and go for. Okay, I'm confident. Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Let's roll.
Barbell or assault bike?
Barbell.
Favorite lockdown series?
Shit. Ray Donovan, Gangs of London.
Yes.
000.
Froning.
What? Froning.
Yes. Metcons or nanos?
20 seconds.
Oh, nanos.
What's your favorite film?
Man on Fire with Denzel Washington.
Yes. What is your favorite food?
10 seconds.
Everything.
Worst CrossFit movement?
Thruster.
5,
Ski or rower?
3,
Rower.
2.
Cap forward or cap backwards?
What? Cat? What? Cat?
I didn't get that one in.
Is it cat rolling forward? What was that? I don't know. It's like it was that South African accent you got me going. What was that? What was that?
The last
Cats rolling forward or cats rolling backwards? What was that?
Yeah.
Wear your cap forwards or wear your cap backwards?
Forwards. I have to say forwards because they got it forwards, right? Yeah, forwards.
Yeah, come on.
I think.
Yeah, some good ones. Yeah, there's some really good ones. AMRAP or chipper, just for the crowd.
What was that about a stripper?
Hey.
It's a quick one.
This is getting lost in translation big time.
AMRAP or chipper?
I'd say chipper because AMRAP you kind of cheat, right? You kind of look at the clock and you go grab some water and put on some chalk and that kind of stuff. Whereas chipper, you just got to get through it. You just got to knock away at it. So yeah, I'd go chipper. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Oh, it's good to know you, man.
Awesome.
I've been on the affiliate webinar where you spoke with Ollie and I think it was Rob as well. They were leading it. But just for the viewers and stuff like that, you've got a very interesting way how you actually came into CrossFit and how you were a part of the whole Globo Gym experience beforehand. So I don't know if you would just take a moment or two and just talk us through how you actually got to CrossFit.
Oh God! I came into CrossFit from, as you mentioned, it's like commercial fitness. So everyone we laugh at it now, right? And it kind of gives me like kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. When I think of what we were pushing on people or kind of prescribing. But at the time, it was all we knew. That was fitness, right? If you had to describe fitness, you wouldn't say it was work capacity over time, across different time and domains, right? You'd say fitness was, a bit of cardio and some weights, and maybe you'd stretch 2 or 3 times a week or something, and you'd skip leg day, right? And that was kind of like the definition of fitness for decades. And it was, so I was in that since 90 something until I passed my level 1, 2009, 2010, something like that. And then when I passed my level 1, there was just like, it was one of those moments where the lights, all of a sudden you're seeing things in another dimension, and you're going, my God, I've been with blinkers on, thinking I'm a professional in the fitness industry for like 15, nearly 20 years or something. And you realize that you've just been misled and that you've been misleading people. And so there was like a tinge of regret that I hadn't found CrossFit like years earlier. But there was like a huge weight off my shoulders. Like finally, I knew what I was going to do for the rest of my life. Was that I was, I needed to share this discovery. It was like, and so when I came off my level 1, I was speaking to everyone, all the coaches I was working with, and all the country managers for this global gym chain, and they're saying, this CrossFit thing, they go, oh no, that's a high intensity, that's way too intense. No, that's not going to work. It won't be for the general public. It's just elite fitness. It's only for those that are already fit, rugby players, or those who want to go into special forces and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, the next, in the next 30, 40, 50 years, it's going to be your grandmother doing CrossFit, and it's going to, so the whole realization that CrossFit was the future of fitness, it was the level one that kind of like, shone that light for me. And it meant that I resigned from my position. We sold everything we had with my wife at the time to go and open our box, which is a lot of what, most box owners do, right? They take, their savings, and they go and see their friends and their family, and they get like angel investors, and they put their life on the line because they've discovered this thing that has changed their life intrinsically, and they want to be able to share that with other people. And so I went through that whole process. It's just that I'd been in the fitness industry, as opposed to a lot of people who come into CrossFit, they're accountants, or they're the milkman, or they're a student, whatever, and they find CrossFit and go, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I'd been in the fitness industry, and I'd been misled and misleading people for 15, 20 years. And so CrossFit, the level one was a defining moment in my life. And I think it has been for many people since, but that's how I landed in it. And I left a very well paid job with a cushy, they're paying for the house, they're paying for living expenses. I'd got offered a role out in Jakarta as a country manager for the company, with a chauffeur, gardener, someone to look after, the family, and, swimming pool and that kind of stuff. And so there's a hard decision to make. It's like, no, let's go nearly broke, and let's go and open up a garage gym, and let's go. I want to go back to coaching at 6 a.m., freezing my tits off. That was it. But I think it's very similar to what most box owners actually, we have to be honest, right? You got the real box owners are the ones that are in it because they just believe in CrossFit so much. Yeah. And then you have some that think, oh my God, this CrossFit thing is a future. So let's jump on this tidal wave while we can get there and see how much money we can make and that kind of stuff. And I think those people, because they don't intrinsically believe in it, they haven't really discovered themselves in CrossFit. People see through that after time. And the ones that are around, 10 years down the line, all the 10-year affiliates I know, they're people that have been changed by CrossFit. There's not a single guy that came into CrossFit for money that's in the 10-year affiliates. Those are guys that come in and then they'll sell their shares after 3 years, or they go broke, or think, oh, shit, there's got to be an easy way to make money than CrossFit. And there are loads of easier ways to make money. CrossFit is not the El Dorado, right? It's not, we know it's a hard craft. So I just think that like a lot of now like 10-year affiliates and above, you get changed, it becomes part of you. You then have this solid foundation to share your vision with people. And then if you have that, you're going to be building, when you know what you want to share through CrossFit, you define your vision. And when you've defined your vision, you attract the people that want to work with you. And then you attract the types of members you want for your box. It's like the three of you somewhere, you've got different pasts, and you're obviously very different people, and you've got different histories and stuff, and maybe different educations, and you come from different parts of the world and all this kind of stuff. But the one thing that draws you together is that you probably have the same vision of what you want to do with CrossFit. And that gives you authenticity, and then that will give you success. The authenticity is what, Greg had no master plan, right? And you can like him, you can hate him, whatever, but one thing is for sure, the guy was authentic, right? He knew who he was authentic, and that's what kind of, defined CrossFit in the early years and made it this undercurrent. It was like a, swimming against the current sort of thing. If fitness was going in this direction, CrossFit was going in this direction. So we always stood out from the crowd. And that came from him being authentic. And I think, every gym owner, every box owner stands out from the rest of the crowd through their authenticity and their belief in CrossFit. Sorry, it was a long answer to a short question, but there you go.
That was perfect.
It's the same as I said when we interviewed Carl and Ollie. We're going to have to watch this back because I need to make some notes. You're already making me feel better in this lockdown, I tell you that much. I love it. It's great. You're quite, well, not quite. You're obviously very successful in the CrossFit space, and you've done some serious things. But just bringing it back to say, the affiliate owner in the middle of Kent, like us, doing our thing. In this pandemic, in this time of lockdown, we in the UK, we're in lockdown and stuff like that. What would you say is the day-to-day running of an affiliate owner? What is that? There obviously isn't one shoe fits all or one thing fits all. But I mean, what would you say is things that, as an affiliate owner, you should be looking at daily? I don't know in what capacity, but what do you think we could be looking at daily too?
As you said, there's no one shoe fits all because, boxes are different sizes and different types of box. You have urban boxes, you have more rural boxes. You've got boxes that are brand new, so they haven't really connected yet or created their community so much. You've got older boxes. I think in the pandemic plays in the favor of the smaller boxes because it's far easier to stay connected to 100 members than it is to stay connected to 400 or 500. But then if you have 400 or 500 members, you've normally got some team with you. So, if you're a box owner in a bigger box, you need to be connecting with your team and making sure that they're connecting with the members. And it doesn't mean you don't connect with the members. It just means you may have like a team of 4 or 5 people. So, I've got a team of 15 full-time employees. And so my focus is connecting with them, keeping them engaged, making sure they know that, hey, we don't have an opening date yet. We've been closed 5 months now. We've been closed in September.
Wow.
And so that's a long haul to keep sharing a vision with people, for them to understand that their future is in CrossFit, and it's with me in our boxes, and we have a plan for them, so my priority as a team leader is to make sure the team is still engaged. And then the priority of the team should be to make sure that the members are still engaged. And whether that means, we know box owners that jump in their car and they're dropping off different equipment every month, right? Oh, you had a wall ball last month, I'm going to bring you a pair of dumbbells. And, and they're doing the rounds and they're driving around, the town, dropping off their equipment and connecting, or, and then we've got others that are doing a workout from a different member's house every day. So instead of doing a Zoom from their box, they go to a different member's garden or their balcony, and they're doing
that's cool.
So cool. That's cool.
And that sort of stuff, Globo gyms don't do. Pandemic hits, what do? They just furlough everybody. They put them on unemployment benefit, and that's it. And let's limit the damage until we can open the doors again. Box owners like, I don't want to limit the damage. I want to be coaching. I want to be sharing this thing CrossFit. I want people to not lose the good habit. And so that's the fight at the moment, is making sure that people aren't losing the good habit. Because even if we fight well, some people will. They need that physical presence in order to keep training. Zoom is a better than nothing, right? It's a Band-Aid on a broken arm sort of thing, 5 months ago, we're doing Zooms with like 30, 35 people, and then it goes down to 20, and it goes down to 15. And it's like, was it 12:30? Because I was bloody here, So Zooms kind of lose their gloss. So you need to reinvent things, and I don't know whether you go on to an Instagram live instead, or find some special event. We're going to do an amazing Chad, and everyone who pitches up and does Chad, we're going to print a Velcro patch that'll be a special edition. Just find little things to connect and make special. And it's about connection. And CrossFit, the methodology is the foundation, but that's not all that CrossFit is. People say, CrossFit's a cult. I'd say it's more of a culture than a cult. CrossFit's a sport. Yes, it is a sport. CrossFit's a training methodology. Yeah, absolutely. It's a community. Yes, absolutely. It's a group of friends. Yeah, absolutely. It's a relationship between a coach and it's all those things. And so you have to feed those things. They don't happen by accident. You can and if you have passion and you have belief and you have pride in CrossFit, you'll find solutions naturally, because you don't necessarily know what it is you're doing, but you need to do it, right? And so you'll find solutions, and box owners are doing that far better than any other color in the fitness rainbow.
Absolutely.
So I think the pandemic, it's shit. Let's be honest. It's a pain in the ass. It's destroying communities, and it's making life harder for certain box owners right now. And then as a business owner and a business leader, you just got to make sure that you can open your doors when that chance comes.
Yes, absolutely.
If that means battening down the hatches and weathering the storm, and so taking another job for a while to make sure you can pay the bills or whatever it is. Because when we do open, yeah, there are loads of businesses going tits up, right? I mean, loads, you know. I've seen a group of yoga studios disappeared in Paris a few days ago. It's really sad because they were very good studios. 5 studios just they said they're never going to open again.
Sure.
PT areas, you know, all this sort of stuff. Some globos that are having a really tough time, and the globos are losing members hand over fist. I mean, hand over fist. We've got a globo gym called Basic Fit, which is 100 meters from our box in Bordeaux. They had 6,000 members before the pandemic hit. They're down to like 2.5.
Wow.
Which is fantastic for us, because that means you've got 3,500 members that used to train there who aren't linked now by contract to them anymore.
Yeah.
So we open our doors. We know that, you know, we can go
right back up.
Yeah, absolutely. We can convert more people to CrossFit than we had before. We've just got to make it through. We've got to batten down the hatches. I need to connect with the team. I need to have study groups with them. I need to do workouts with them. I need to be doing golf setting with them. I need to be discussing how we can help grow them. I do leadership meetings, all that kind of stuff with my team, and they need to be focused on the members. We need to keep doing as many workouts as we can, and obviously controlling costs in that time, and we'll get through this. I don't know. We have no opening date like in the UK. You guys don't have any definite opening date at the moment. You've just got to make sure that you can open the doors again, because when you do, and you guys will testify to this, when you could open like last summer, when you opened up again, it was like, whoa, you know,
Influx.
you had people
Complete influx.
Yeah, exactly. And that will happen again. It will happen again.
Yeah.
And hopefully this time we won't need to reclose because the governments are incompetent. And they haven't, I mean, and they haven't vaccinated as they should have, or that sort of thing. So, I think we need to just have that chance of having 4 or 5 months of operating, and we will make a bigger difference in our communities than we ever have done. I think, you know, there'll be a silver lining to the COVID cloud that we haven't actually lived yet, and we just have to make it through.
That's it.
Sure.
Well,
great answer.
great answer.
Wow.
Let's go, affiliates.
Definitely.
Come on.
All right, Fave.
Oh, Fave, you're up, brother. Come on.
Young man can come with some questions. There you
Young
go.
buck from London.
Young man.
I'm happy so far because you haven't made me swear. So you haven't made me swear yet.
Go for it.
So this is my question. It's probably actually a young person's question, but what are the things that say
Young person's question. What does that mean? I won't understand it. What's that going on there?
I wasn't saying this shows. I'm just saying.
That's shots, bro.
What are the things a young coach should focus on if they are just starting CrossFit? Or should it be say we should focus on your coaching style, or is it more focusing on building a community? What would you say are the key things at the beginning of the career that you should really focus on and hone in on?
Okay, I've got a question for you, and then maybe I'll be able to answer that. Would you say it's a coach who's working in a box, or someone who's opening their own box?
I would. Oh, that's a great question. I would say it's a coach working in a box.
Okay, so you've come in. You've decided that you're going to make coaching your livelihood, right?
Yeah,
that's it. Okay. I would say choose where you work really carefully. Choose the best environment to make mistakes on someone else's dime.
Wow.
Right. So because you know they may not know it now, but in 5-10 years they may want to go and open their own business. And if you choose the right place to intern, you choose the right place to apply your trade, you'll be side by side with people that will bring you huge amounts of knowledge and experience on a daily basis. You'll by osmosis you'll be gathering things. I say that's the first thing. That's probably one of the best things that I didn't even know I was good at it. It was just by chance that you end up in a room and you never want to be the smartest guy in the room. Well, not at least until you're 40, right? Otherwise you're not learning anything, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I changed jobs at one point because I realized when I was going into these board meetings and stuff that I was no longer learning anything. I used to walk into these meetings that would happen once a month with, these international businessmen and shareholders and stuff. And I would be in awe, and I'd be taking notes and mental notes, and wow. And then I'd go back and read up on a subject that they touched upon, and I wouldn't say a word because I was afraid of being, speaking like, oh my God, they realized I shouldn't be here. So
I found out.
I just found out. Like, who's that pasty face dude in the corner there? What's he doing there?
We invited him.
You invited him to the party.
I'll have sugars in mind, sort of thing, you know. And then through the years, all of a sudden you realize that people are automatically turning towards you for the final decision of what you realize. Actually, I'm no longer gaining anything from being here. I'm not learning anything from being here. So when you're young, you know, you sometimes see the glitz and the glamour of you want recognition, you want money, you want all this kind of stuff. I would easily pass up money and recognition for going into an environment where I can learn the most.
Wow.
And have a mentor. That's super important. Right. And then in terms of coaching, I'll be very. I mean, I know I work for CrossFit and stuff, but I mean, as a coach, the most valuable weekend I ever had was the level 2. I mean, that was just the level 2 just blew my mind. And I came off the level 2, and I was so excited that I was like. It didn't exist in French at the time. So I was like, literally, I was translating the whole level 2 guide into French so that my coaches could get some of this.
Wow. Yeah.
And then every week I was dispensing parts of level 2 to my coaches, seeing and correcting and just basically like that. And just having, you got 6 general themes to being an excellent coach and stuff. And then obviously afterwards it got translated into French so I could actually get them onto the level 2.
Yeah.
The level 2 and even, whether it's level 2 or something, just that content in whatever form it's brought to you, and understanding that when you get your first diploma or you get your first certificate, you're not a coach. That just means you're starting. It doesn't. It's not because you've laced your boots up that you're a good soccer player or a good rugby player, right? It's not. That's not it. It's like saying, oh, I've done a 3-week training camp. I'm going to be an All Black, or I'm going to be a Springbok or something. It doesn't happen, right? I'm really excellent. You've got to understand it's a long journey. In France, the mistake here is that there's a national diploma, so you have to go to university.
Yes.
You have to do at least a minimum 1-year course, and you intern in a box or a club at the same time, in order to be able to say you're a coach. And the problem with that is a lot of the guys do these 10 months and they think they're the bomb. They think they're the nuts. Yeah. And then they're beginners. They're unconsciously incompetent. They don't even know what they don't know because they haven't had that experience. And so we that's what we're fighting against, is that and also the problem is the schools or the diplomas put it in their heads that this diploma, we're the bomb, and when you come off this you can go and do this and you can go and coach that, and bullshit, until you've prepped a class for 10 and there are 15 people that pitch up and 2 have never done CrossFit and one's been injured for 3 months and another one is
his wing is broken.
It's like and you do a lesson plan for 60 minutes but you're so shit that your class runs 67 minutes. They got to get back to work. You've got to go through a learning curve, right? So I would say the environment you're in can shorten that learning curve. And it's in particular for those that eventually want to go on and run their own business.
Yes.
Gain that experience on someone else's money. And that's why be an employee somewhere and be the best you can be, learn as much as you can be. And there'll be a time when you know it's right to go on your own and open your own business.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great, man.
Awesome.
Great.
That's a great.
It was a good young person's question.
Thank you.
How old are you, bro?
Little more.
22.
Jesus, it's a young person's question.
So
But I think that was a slight at the 2 of you more than it was.
How did you know?
I'm going to have to be the one
What are you
to
trying to
young
say?
person's question because these 2 are next to me.
He keeps us young, bro.
Keeps us young. I mean, it means he's got about 20 years before we let him loose into the
That's
world.
it,
Is
bro.
that what we're saying?
20 years of
20 years. Okay,
of
great.
learning, bro.
That's great. That's good.
Is it school holidays at the moment in the UK?
yeah,
week.
today,
Next
starts.
week,
Okay, because otherwise I was going to ask you. Your parents know you're not at school, but it's good. School holidays, is it?
Shots.
Yeah. You guys are babysitting, free babysitting. It's good stuff.
If we were to flip that on its head and say, okay, as an affiliate owner, what I mean, you've got quite a few employees and stuff like that. What do you look for in the people that you that you employ? What are some of the things you look for?
Quite a few things, but some basic values. I don't look for experience. I don't look for a particular style of education. I'll look for a belief in CrossFit, and I'll look for someone who's coachable. So it doesn't matter where they are. The starting point doesn't matter where they are. If they're coachable, then we can develop a game plan for them to develop them, right? And so it doesn't matter where they are today. What matters is where we can take them in 6 months' time or a year's time. And that's the same for guys who've been with me for 10 years. It's okay, where are you now, and where will we take you for the next 10 years, right? If we can have a game plan and they're coachable, then that's fine. And I don't care if they don't have the experience. That's up to me to create the environment where they can gain the experience. And so when I started out, I was the only coach. Hire a coach, train him up as quickly as possible, spend as much time with him as possible, et cetera, et cetera. And then after like a year or so, he becomes the head coach, and you've got like a secondary coach coming in and a third coach. And then I'll spend time more on reception team and bringing more people into reception team and training them and stuff. And then it just goes progressively. And you start with, so it was just me and my ex-missus. And then it goes to 3 people, 4, 5. We've now got 15 full-time employees in total in the company, with part-time and full-time, with 45.
Wow. That's amazing. You must have a solid structure.
Sure.
No, it's a good structure. And if you can not just develop people, but you can develop leaders, then it's basically unlimited what you can do. And where I'm happy is that, my goal is that every session that's coached throughout the 3 boxes will be as good, if not better, than what I could coach myself on my own.
That's a key.
And that's the standard by which I'll judge. I'll watch a class, or I'll take a class, and I say, did he do a better job than I could do? And if it's no, then we've got some work to do. And if it's yes, I'll congratulate him. We'll still work and we'll still give feedback. So, and then the environment is constant feedback, and you can call it radical candor, you can call it facing the brutal facts, you can call it brutal honesty, whatever it is. But we've created an environment where people trust each other enough to say really what they think, and that's when you make the right decisions. That's when, and people will tell my team are not afraid to tell me. Especially my ex-wife, she's in my team, man. She holds no punches. Yeah.
Who's the boss?
I'll give you an anecdote. So the other day we're on a call, and we do these development calls, so we study together and stuff. And there was this. She's a newbie. She's only been in the company for like 6 months, but she wanted to read the same book we're reading. So. Which, by the way, is Legacy. You probably read it, the 15 Rules for the All Blacks, if you've read that book. So
Great book.
And so she was reading that. She goes, I'd love to read that with you guys. Can I come on the study sessions? She goes, yeah. So she comes on these study sessions, and it's a Zoom, and we've got like, the 3 boxes and me, and she's in one of the boxes. And then at the end, we discuss, so the theme that was brought up in the book, and we discuss the practical application to the box and the teams and all that kind of stuff. And then my ex-wife goes, yeah, but like that, that mistake there, you do that. And then she starts digging in, and she starts getting personal about the past and all this kind of stuff. And I defend myself a bit, and I go, and I agree. And this girl, I could see on the Zoom, right? So I got and her eyes like going, oh my God. My ex is effing and blinding. And I mean, if she'd seen me, she would have been like banging my head on the table sort of thing. All the others are used to it, because that we're used to this. We get together once a month as a leadership team, and and we're forged through banging each other's heads on the table sort of thing. But this girl's eyes like, oh my God, it's like, like looking around like this, like, should I leave the room or something? I was like,
no, she didn't.
No, she didn't do that.
No, she stuck it out, and then on the next call we came back, and we spoke about radical candor, and I made a point of it because I wanted to understand, and because she was saying, like, on the next call all day long we're laughing away, and me and my ex-wife were having a joke and all this kind of stuff, and she's got to be like, oh my God, these guys are nuts, It's like, no. We care passionately about each other, and I don't believe leadership is important, but you get to a certain point where it was Clive, the manager of the England rugby team when they won the World Cup in 2003. And he penned a term called teamship, whereby you give the responsibility to the team for basically running itself. And I like that process, where you say to the guy, okay, this is the subject, these are the problems, you know, and it's our problem as a team. So everybody has the right to speak. Everybody on this call, everybody in this meeting has their say, you know. And there's no hierarchy, there's no stripes on the shoulder. Everybody has a right to, and then we'll make a decision together. And then once we make that decision, we're all held to it. And sometimes I'll do like he did, which is I'll walk away. I'll say, okay, this is the issue. You guys talk about it, and I want you to make me a proposal. Yeah. And then they come back to me and they make a proposal, and so they don't feel as though I'm forcing them to do something.
Yeah, or dictating.
I present the problem. I ask them to come up with some solutions. And what's really good in this is that if I like the solution, it's going to be applied 10 times more than if I impose it. Why? Because it comes from them. And if I don't like the solution, I'll just say, hey, no, that's not good enough. Go back again. And so I always win. It's like it's like you can't lose. So
work smarter, not harder. There you go. That's
the teamship concept is pretty amazing. But obviously, you have to have your team at a point where they share the same vision as you, right? So they know where you want to go and how you want to go.
Another man's vision.
So that's pretty cool stuff, right? I mean, just that one concept was worth doing the podcast, right?
Come on.
I mean, that's big.
That's
time.
a nugget. That's a golden
Like I
nugget.
said, we're gonna have to watch this again.
They have to watch
The young guy is going, this old gay, he's got some good stuff, hasn't he? This old
Dan the man.
Come on.
I hope most people listen to this on a podcast, not on video, so they can't see the grey in my beard or that dodgy t-shirt you guys have pulled off. Yeah.
Could have made it more dodgy. I mean, Angie, I'm just every time you start saying something, I've got another question. But the one big question I would have is, it's maybe a bit selfish, but we're going into our 5-year. We're a 5-year affiliate this year, August. So we'll be 5 years on the go. What would you say? Mistakes from 5 years onwards, or things that you found, around that time, mistakes that you might have made with your affiliate, so we can kind of look out for it. I mean, everybody's different, but I mean, things that you genuinely would rather say, hey guys, look out for this,
Avoid that.
Yeah, I think as an established affiliate, one of the mistakes that most of us make, and I know I have, is that you see whenever a new affiliate opens up not too far, you see it as an attack on your community, or you see it as it's like, these little ruts, they're coming in and they're trying to steal my members and that kind of stuff. I think one of the best things to realize is that every box has its own character, and every box will find its members, and every member will find a box that suits it most. And so if you focus your energy more on making sure that your box is right for what you want it to be, and accept that some members will prefer to train somewhere else. It's like, we don't really do competition boxes, for example. If you want to go and do every single throwdown, and you think you're going to go to the games, and you're 32, you've got a dodgy ankle, and you still think you're going to go to the games. Well, because we're not a competition box. Our box is about it's about group coaching. It's about everyday people that have not much time, and they want to get they want to get most out of their hour, right? That's what our box is about. So just understand what you are, really be honest with that, and accept that your box won't be the right choice for everybody. I think that's one thing. And the more you work with the local boxes as opposed to seeing them as competition, because like in Paris, we had boxes open, and we were like, that little shit, oh god damn it, and then actually 3 or 4 years later, you end up at a bar somewhere having a drink with them and saying, oh, he's a really good kid. And they're doing some really good stuff in their box, and why don't we do an open launch with them and all this kind of stuff. And my biggest regret is not having worked more with local boxes for a few years. Wow. And then also I think you need to be living, because you can get sucked up in the day-to-day as a box owner, right? Whether it's opening up the box at 5 a.m, or making sure you've ordered enough loo roll, or the coffee machine's broken, or the programming, and get the Hoover out and all this kind of stuff, and then, oh god, we've got to intern these new guys, or you get so wrapped up in the day-to-day. You forget to realize that you're not just a box owner, you're the leader, and where that box will be in 3 years' time is on you.
That's true.
Wow.
So
True, man.
you need to be thinking and living 3 years down the line, as in, what do we want to be developing? Do we want more of the Silver Surfers? If we do, who in the team could be the leader of that project? Or, do we want a kids project? Okay, who would be the great person that would work well with different age groups and would be passionate enough to run this and develop the kids program? And then it'll take 3 years to get somewhere, right? I mean, when you launch a kids program, you get 5 kids, 7 kids. You go, oh, should I do this? Yeah, stick with it. And 3 years down the line, you got 70 kids or 100 kids. And then, but you need to see that 100 kids 3 years earlier, and you need to see what it is you need to do to get there. So wherever you want your box to be 3 years from now is where your mind should be. And yeah, you need to maintain and run the everyday business, but sometimes you need to step away from the everyday business to be living in the future. A leader lives in the future. 5 years, I'd say you guys are pretty safe, right? That 5 year benchmark is where, good boxes pick their, they come up after the 5 years. So that's really great, by the way. 5 years is cool. That's I would say it's possibly the toughest 5 years. You've now got critical mass. You've probably got a good number of members. You've got people that are used to training in your gym. You've got word of mouth. You've got ambassadors all around town. You're out in Sidcup, right, in Kent? Is that right?
Yeah.
Orpington, right? And yes, so I mean, 5 years you start to get traction. You've got some rhythm going. It's just how can you keep that spinning, right? How can you keep that spinning? And then the other thing is, 5 years is you need a team that's going to be with you for another 10. So how are you going to grow your business? Like the young studly dude on your left there, right? What are you guys going to do to make sure he's still around in 10 years' time? Right? How can you grow your box? How can you grow your business to give him opportunities whereby he can relate and say, yeah, I want to be there in 10 years' time. I still want to be contributing to this. And you can build something great if you've got a win-win situation for your good elements. So those are the things I would say at about a 5 year mark you need to really start looking at. 5 years is good, it's a feather in the cap, congratulations. But it's the beginning. You guys are young. You got another 40, 50 years in you.
Come on, yeah.
That's a Dana man.
Come on.
I'm celebrating my 40th in March. I'll be 85. Well, 80 by the time we can retire.
Hey, listen. And the rate they're spending money on COVID, there'll be no retirement for any of us, mate. We're all
we're all going for it.
They're emptying the coffers right now. So yeah, 40 in March. Yeah, but you've got the winter jacket on. I can't see whether you're looking buff or you're just like. I don't know whether you got a set of man boobs on you or the
set of man boobs on you. I've actually been training. I have to get ready for the Open, so I thought it was a good time 4 weeks prior to start doing something.
I'm really chuffed because the box is closed. I can actually win my boxes open. I can be. I'm actually going to be like the top 10. I really over 45s.
I can do pull-ups. I can do pull-ups. Yeah, you can't. It's stuck.
Exactly. So, the only man to do an AMRAP and do a DNF on an AMRAP.
Easy game. On that note, what is your 21.1? What do you predict?
To be honest, I don't know. I was exchanging with Dave because we're organizing some podcasts with Dave around the world in different markets and stuff.
Wow.
And he's got it all down to pat, but he can change the workout like on the last day, right?
Wow. He can.
He did the 17.1 launch in Paris.
Yes.
At our box, and so we got a list of equipment that we had to have and all this kind of stuff. So they didn't give us a workout. I mean, literally, the people who have the workouts before they're announced, you can count on the fingers of one hand, right? Literally.
Wow.
And he's got it's like OPSEC, right? I mean, and there was one guy who once years ago leaked a workout, and he disappeared from the CrossFit universe. I mean, he's been he can't even come and watch the games. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm literally sure, like, if he puts his laptop on to watch the games, it's like, you know, some dude will, like, you know, abseil down, kick his window in, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Dave is really serious. Yeah. And because he wants to be beyond reproach, right? That no athlete, no coach will know, you know, what's going to be in it. Yeah. And so he throws curveballs. So it's like, you know, he sends us this list of equipment. Yeah, we need wall balls, we need wall ball heights, we need a barbell, we need a rig, we need boxes, and we're gonna need tape, and we're gonna need dumbbells. It's like, okay, this is gonna be a hell of a chipper, right? And then during the day, right? So we're preparing the space and stuff, and he's got the two judges out measuring the wall ball heights with tapes. So I'm going, okay, gotta be wall balls. And then Dave comes to me and goes, can you pick your two best rowers that aren't going to fuck up on a live? I go, yeah. So I go and pick the two best rowers. So I go, wall ball rowers, right? Was it? It wasn't at all. It was the Sam Briggs, Alti, snatch, burpee over the burpee
box jump.
Yeah. But he was throwing curveballs all day, just in case someone was leaking info, right? Yeah. Wow, and then he gets to it, and then at the end of it, I go, wow, you know, you were throwing us curveballs all day. He goes, you know, sometimes we'll get to an hour before the launch, and then I'll communicate to the guys back in the States, because we're in France. I'll communicate to the guys back in the States that actually we're not doing a 21:59, but we're doing, you know, 5 rounds of 10, or, you know, we're going to replace the dumbbell snatch by barbell thruster or something. I can change it up to about an hour before.
Wow, like, so flipping cool.
Wow. And then they change scorecards and all this kind of stuff. So Dave and he'll make those changes so that it's logical within, you know, all 5 workouts or 3 workouts this year, but make those changes. So I didn't answer your question. Did you realize I didn't answer your question about what my provision is?
No, whatever.
Because I always get it wrong. So whatever I'm about to say, it will not be. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a repetition of a previous workout.
17.1.
So I mean, yesterday, what was the one I did yesterday? What was that? It was like a 20-minute AMRAP with
close to bar push press.
No, what was it we did yesterday? God damn it. Oh, no, we did the 55 deadlifts at 100 kgs, 55 wall balls, 55 cow row, 55 handstand push-ups. And time cap was what, 13 minutes, I think it was?
Nice.
That was spicy. I like that one.
Was that
16.1?
16 point something? Was that
16.1 or 16.5 or something? Yeah.
Yes, I remember doing that.
Spicy. Yeah, spicy as.
That is
I'm feeling my lower back on those deadlifts now. So yeah,
55 at 100. That's a lot of weight, but it's heavy.
He's about to say, especially for Grandad over there.
I'll be looking you up on the leaderboard, yeah. He's gonna check your scores, bro.
With the country managers, we've got bets in place on who's going to be the unfittest country manager.
No, you don't want to be there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we've got in the country managers now. We've got like Paul Tremblay, who is like, you know, Canadian. He did the games. You know, he was like demo team.
Tremblay,
I mean, he sends it heavy. I mean, he goes, you know, he's full send. So he's obviously not going to be at the bottom. But my, because I'm no longer an official country manager now, so I won't be the last. But I reckon Ollie Mansbridge may. You know, he's got 3 sons. You know, he likes the beer.
Ollie, you're representing, bro.
Ollie, come on, bro. 4 weeks to train, bro. Please, man.
Yeah, and then sometimes when he works out, he wears these tight shorts that are just wrong.
Like rugby shorts.
Yeah. But I'm sure that the rugby shorts when he was under 18 England, you know, and he's like 10 kg lighter or something.
The claim is real.
Yeah, totally.
Them suckers go. Hold on to you. Hold on.
You don't let those things go. Right.
Let them go. Ollie, keep wearing them things.
I hope Ollie listens to this, because I really reckon. Yeah, I mean, because it used to be a guy in Benelux called Wesley Kloos, who I called him years ago the unfittest seminar staff. He was like, all the seminar stuff, you do the Saturday lunchtime workout seminar stuff, and they would beast you. And he was like the only guy that I could ever beat, was Wesley Kloos. So I say, you are the unfittest seminar stuff. I see him on a gig. I was like, good. I'm not going to be last. So, I reckon even Ollie is unfitter than Wesley.
Oh, Don't have it, Ollie.
Come on, Ollie,
Ollie.
representing, bro, for
Come on,
England.
Ollie. Come on.
Listen, Fav, you got another?
Coming from the south, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah, well, for England, we've got to do it, man. I'm getting my passport next week, so I'm becoming legit.
How long have you been in the UK?
Yeah, my British, yeah. Not next week. I'm waiting for the thing to come back, but yeah, I'll be legal. Yeah.
How many years have you been here?
Oh, 13.
13 years. Jeez.
13 years. Yeah.
So you came over like most South Africans as a barman, and you stayed.
Yeah, well, I came to. I was actually playing rugby in Cornwall for a while, and then my wife was doing. She was playing. She's got an Irish passport, so she was playing field hockey for Ireland, and we met at university at South Africa. So we flew over, and then
Fetched me.
it was too cold in Cornwall. I couldn't handle it, and then after 6 months, I said to them, "Take your contract. I'm done." And then, then I joined the Virgin Active clan, and I worked as a personal trainer for 10 years. So that was that. But then we got married along the way and had 3 kids, and eventually
4.
opened a box.
4 if you count me.
4.
we got another bigger one at home as well. So actually 5. So
Mate, that's a good story. Yeah? You guys have got a good story to tell, right? I mean, coming from different countries, and then you end up just outside of Sidcup in Kent, opening a box, and you got
So
you're taking in strays, and looking after all the locals. Yeah.
no, well, I mean, exactly the same.
We
We
were
got
boarding school our whole life, really.
we got an inheritance. Lou's dad unfortunately passed away, but we got a bit of an inheritance, and we were like, and Lou was always pushing, "I want to get you out of the city. You can't be doing this." And then we were doing these Ironman triathlons, and we were. I mean, when you do those things, you're nuts in the head. You think you're the fittest. You are the fittest people in the world. And then she says, "My friend started a box in South Africa, and they claiming they're the fittest in the world." I said, "No ways. There's no ways."
But you just like strutted up to the box and said, "Let's do this. Let's go down."
So many people we see come through our doors.
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
mean,
their chest is out, and they're
No
like,
way.
they get through a crosser workout, and they're on their backs.
I mean, I saw Rich Froning on YouTube the first time, and I was like, "I'm gonna get this guy. I've got this guy."
You were the 32-year-old with bust up ankles saying,
Yeah.
"I'm going to
I'm even worse. I got all these rugby injuries, and I was like, "I'm coming, bro." And then I did like the first workout. I mean, it was probably like a Fran or something, because that was the most famous workout. So I thought, okay, let's give this a go. The squats weren't under parallel. The pull-ups were, strict at best. 25. Biceps, all biceps.
Like Tony Bravo.
And then 25 minutes later, I break off the bar, and I'm like, okay, let's where I sign up, let's go. So
Is this your thruster?"
That's it, man.
I mean, it looked like that. It looked like that. Doesn't look much better now, but it looked like that. So and then we are. So 5 years later, and but I think we came in unknowingly we came in for the right reasons. We genuinely love people.
Yeah.
And we love seeing people mature and people grow in their physical journey and stuff like that. And we know that CrossFit is the answer. And it's a way to get people to become the best physical possible part of themselves. So for us, it was always about the people. Our box is, by the way, our box is like a 7.5 meter by 7.5 meter box.
It's not very big.
It's literally a box. And then we have...
Do not despise humble beginnings.
At the moment, you are in a changing room. This is the changing room of the rugby club. So we've got 2 changing rooms. We've got the box and we've got a little office. And we are dreaming for bigger space. But, we just love people. People love coming here. And we can't, at the end of the night, we can't chase them away quick enough. And it's like they literally would sit here all day chatting and drinking coffee. So
they feel at home, right? It's that,
Yeah.
home away from. And your growth doesn't happen by one big decision. It happens one person at a time, right? One discussion, one workout, one person at a time, and that's it. 5 years time, you guys will be sitting in a bigger changing room.
Yeah. Well, we actually released. Well, this guy, he's a tech guy. He released. We premiered.
A video.
A 5-year
A little
video.
documentary.
It's a little documentary of where we started and now where we're at. So it's online on YouTube. Yeah, 37 minutes.
Yeah,
So it gives us a lot of history, and
I mean,
it's basically
crazy.
just to remind
video
the
is
members
crazy.
of what they've been a part of, and we're gonna get through the pandemic.
We will.
yeah, I mean, yeah. We watched this video and I just looked at it and I just thought we are. I think we are crazy because when you watch yourself on the thing, you think, I mean, these people.
Kamikazes, bro.
I mean, we don't know what we're doing half the time.
Seems to be working at times.
Yeah, it works sometimes, but I really sometimes it doesn't work. So.
As a kid, you always think your parents know what they're doing, and when you become a parent, you realize they didn't know shit. They were winging it. My dad was winging it. He was absolutely winging it. Yeah.
There's no manual, is there?
There's no manual,
yeah. So no. Well, I mean, Dan, thanks so much for your time, and we're gonna, we're gonna let you go, and really appreciate it. So good speaking to you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you so very much for your time.
Honestly, a pleasure. I'd listened to previous podcasts, and it's like it blew my eardrums in the first 3 minutes. I was going, "Oh wow, these guys!" And and then I had a quick chat with Ollie, and he said, "Oh yeah, they're good crack. They're a wild bunch and stuff." And you haven't disappointed. It's been fun, and with pleasure. I really hope. Hope is for when you go to church. I know that when lockdown ends, and Ollie sorts his shit out to get an affiliate gathering together, that we can come together and have a good chat, and
Yes,
we
man.
Yeah,
That would be
can
cool.
hear more about your story and your legacy, and I'll watch the YouTube video. Yeah. I look forward to meeting you guys face to face. I think I was on another podcast with some guys down in Australia like a week ago, and you just realize it doesn't matter the continent. It doesn't matter the accent or sex, age, etc. There's something that drives box owners, which is really pure, and it's beautiful. You guys have that, so real pleasure.
Thank you so
And
much.
anyone
so
who's
much.
trained with you guys I would have loved to train with you guys as a member of a club or a box or something. Yeah, without a doubt. You guys have got that magic ingredient. So.
We can't wait.
I'll be dropping in and sitting on, I don't know, on a wooden bench in your changing room.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do pull-ups. Yeah.
Pleasure. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Dad.
Take care.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.